Politicians and senior bureaucrats who think they do not serve us but rule over us need to be taught a lesson and pull their heads in. We will punish you at the ballot box. And it's not only in relation to the Voice referendum result that they seem to be completely ignoring and running roughshod over us because they think they know what's best for us dummies. This week we also discovered that most state leaders think that we had a referendum on the Republic again and that most Aussies voted not to be a constitutional monarchy anymore. I must have missed that one because no, we didn't. But not one state or territory leader wants to attend the King's official reception event in Canberra. He's coming all this way and they can't even get to Canberra to say hi. Here's how the British media saw that news.
The King and Queen are heading down under on a 9-day tour of Australia. It'll be the King's 17th official trip to the country and the first Commonwealth realm he's visited as monarch. But it's been reported that no state premier will be attending the planned reception to welcome the royals.
This is a big moment for the King. It is his first major overseas tour since his cancer diagnosis. Australia will be the first realm he's visited. And for Australians, this is the first time they've ever had a reigning British king in their country. Now, the King has already, as we've been hearing, had to condense his tour due to his health. But I think a visit to the landlocked capital, Canberra, was never not going to happen. And it's here where he is head of state, of course. He's due to address a reception at Parliament House, the very political heart of the country. The Buckingham Palace said that that event would be attended by political and community leaders, but it's now being reported that not all will be there. So the 8 state and territory premiers said they're not going, so they won't be there to hear the King's address. Now, the Sydney Morning Herald newspaper is describing this as a childish no-show. So the question is, what's going on here?
That's Laura Bundock. She's Sky News UK's royal correspondent. What is going on here? I think it's tacky and cheap and pathetic, and the Sydney Morning Herald is spot on. Even if you're a Republican, the UK is a major ally and the mother country that gave us our systems of law and justice and parliament, and so much more that we continue to take for granted. Could we at least have and show a little bit of class? Or don't we do that anymore? We just behave like spoilt teenage know-it-all brats now, do we? Has that become our national cultural style? No, it hasn't. But it seems to have become the style of our political class who just will not listen and serve the people anymore.
Remember, it was back in 1999 that Australia held a referendum on becoming a republic. Australians voted no back then. The debate went away. The polls show that support for becoming a republic has been dipping ever since. It was in 2016, you go back, all the premiers, the then premiers, signed a document saying they want to become a republic. Nothing happened. There is a Republican Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, but even he has kicked into the long grass plans to hold another referendum on this.
Well, Albo won't be having any more referendums after the Voice debacle, that's for sure. I think Talk TV's UK's Mike Bell was right on the money with this comment.
Most of these state premiers, I mean, it's a bit like Sadiq Khan and Andy Burnham saying we're not going to meet Donald Trump when he comes over. You know, who cares, frankly? Most of them nobody's ever heard of. I read their names out to a couple of politicians yesterday, didn't know who they were. You know, they're lefties, they've got an agenda, and I suspect that King Charles is much more popular in Australia than any of them are.
Spot on, Mike, well said. A new poll shows only 1/3 of us want Australia to become a republic. That's down from 45% at the time of the 1999 referendum. And most surprisingly, the poll from Pulse of Australia, reported in Sydney's Daily Telegraph newspaper, shows that 1/3 support, that very low 1/3 support, runs across all the main age groups from boomers right through to millennials. So there'll be no republic in our lifetimes. Charles and Camilla have always said that whether Australia becomes a republic is a matter for the Australian people to decide, and that they've always had a deep affection for this country. Classy. Pity our state premiers can't show a microdot of class and do their job of representing us for a change. Did you know that for every 2 to 3 teachers in Australia working hard in classrooms across the country, there is one taxpayer-funded bureaucrat sitting behind a desk doing admin and making and enforcing rules and regulations that make those teachers' jobs even harder. That's right, one bureaucrat for every 2 to 3 frontline teachers. That's how bloated our public service has become. But you'll never hear about it from the regular teachers' unions because they also represent many of those public servants. So says the leading alternative teachers' union in Australia, the TPAA. If you're a teacher, it's time to change to a union that will not only look after you without using your money to support the Labor Party, but which is taking on the government education system to sidestep those bureaucrats and use the savings to pay all teachers 25% more. The current waste must stop. All the red tape doesn't just suck up resources and time, it actually takes the teachers away from teaching our kids and it wastes their time filling in crazy paperwork for meddling bureaucrats. So join the union that will actually stand up against big bloated government. Join the TPAA, the Teachers Professional Association of Australia. To find out more, just Google TPAA. The TPAA's fees are half the price because none of your money goes to any political party. And as an Other Side viewer, if you use our special code OTHERSIDE1 when you sign up, you'll get a further $100 off your first year's fees as a rebate on your first payments. Go to tpaa.redunion.com.au, tpaa.redunion.com.au to sign up now for a better union and support the other side too by supporting our sponsors. Thank you, teachers, you legends. If you like that clip, there's more where that came from in our full show, The Other Side. You can watch it right here, the latest episode. And please subscribe to our channel by pressing the subscribe button right here or down here. And remember to click that notification bell too. It all helps. Join us and become part of The Other Side.